beautiful fall Saturday morning here in Norwood at Murray Field. We've got the two boys JV squads playing today, the Mustangs of Norwood and the Marauders of Dedham. I'm Joe Panola here with Eric Bodenhofer here in the booth. How are you, Eric?
I'm good, thanks, Joe. How about yourself?
Not bad today. We got a great day for soccer. This is kind of what you expect for New England, October, this time of year.
Absolutely. I'm sure the boys are really taking a moment to appreciate the foliage, too. But, yeah.
I think they have some other focuses right now. Dedham tries to play this one up the sideline. They have something early going.
Yeah, Norwood got some early pressure in the Dedham end, but yeah, Dedham countering very quickly here.
Norwood having 3 defenders near there, though. That one's scooped up by the Norwood keeper, Zach Gorin.
Now to Nevin Kelly, who settles the ball nicely.
And Dedham will try to work it around midfield with 3 players kind of kicking it between all of them. And now this one is retrieved way out at about the 20-yard line by the Dedham keeper.
It handled well there. That was a good play by the keeper to shut that down, because I think Tim Lee, with his speed, had a good chance of getting to that ball.
Yeah, Tim, one of the juniors in the Norwood roster, and he is fast. We'll see if he can get some opportunities.
Through ball from Dedham, handled there nicely by Giacomo Seratore, who I think we called his name a lot last week. A really strong defender for Norwood.
Absolutely. He seemed to be on a lot of those through balls from Dover Sherburne last week. He seemed to be with them. So he seems to be one of the chess pieces for Norwood that they're using to counter some of those big attacks.
I think you're absolutely right. So out for a Dedham corner here, and as we've discussed in the past, under the new COVID rules, the corner has to stay on the ground, and so you see a lot of these short kick restarts that are probably the non-traditional corner.
Yeah, the players are still learning, and so are the refs. We're all figuring it out together. But at least in the third week of weekend action for Norwood, hopefully they're getting a little bit more of a handle on it.
So it looks like Dedham's going to go with a quick touch and a drive into the box. Now,
this one up.
And since no one can play the ball with their head, that makes it a much more difficult. There's Yuri Nevis with a lot of space.
Yeah,
Tim Lee running in front of him.
Yuri, number 50 for Norwood, brings it up past midfield.
Finds Tim Lee.
A little bit of confusion on the Norwood end, and Dedham able to take advantage and take control.
And out for a Norwood re-kick. Kickstarter, whatever we're calling it.
You know, we were talking about this the other week in the varsity game. These players have some old habits that are really hard to break, at least as far as, you know, not being able to throw the ball in, not being able to head it. Certainly a different environment, but I'm sure the kids are thankful to be playing soccer.
So Kang Win with a nice kick in there, finding Nevin Kelly. And that's Pawan Tamang battling hard there, trying to keep the ball in Norwood.
Nevin Kelly again working on that sideline and
wins the foul, I believe. Or are they saying it was out of bounds?
Let's see. Well,
no,
looks like it will stay with Norwood.
Yep. But it's still an indirect kick, so I believe this will have to stay on the ground.
And we'll see that it is indeed the case. Camilo Piccolo puts this one in. Strong leg from him.
Absolutely. Handled well by Dedham, though. Oh, and there's a nice knock
ahead.
A
chance for Dedham. Number 21 coming down the sidelines. He's got some speed, but
just couldn't quite keep it in the field of play, and out for the Norwood kick-in. I think that's Micah Papadopoulos who will take the kick-in here.
He will, yeah. He was with him. The Dedham player had some eyes up ahead, but Norwood had a few defenders back, and we've seen that a couple times in the early going. Dedham with players deep, but Norwood has had a couple of defenders there. Their scheme seems to be pretty good. This one a handball, looks like, off Camilo Piccolo.
I think so. Noting that normally we would see Pat Kelly out there. He did not start the game, and I know in last week's home JV game he hurt his ankle. I wonder if he's out with an injury or just Coach Peguero's just got a different starting lineup today.
Well, we'll look to see him on the sideline, number 8. But meanwhile, Norwood plays it. That's Connor Curran on defense for Norwood.
Dan Silva harassing the Dedham player and getting
absolutely good active presence from Dan, one of the freshmen on this JV squad. In fact, Norwood looks like they have 9 freshmen on their JV roster. That's a good sign in the future for Norwood if they've got a really competitive JV squad and that many freshmen on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's nice to see there's definitely some talent in this JV pipeline that, the varsity team is going to lose some key seniors this year, so it's good to know that there's talent coming up from behind to fill in those gaps.
Absolutely, and even a freshman playing up on varsity, we've seen Aiden Keogh really contribute up on that level, and some of these freshmen here have looked very, very good early on.
Absolutely. So I think Norwood may have done their kick in the air and ended up with a turnover back to Dedham in a pretty dangerous spot. Well,
Dedham has really been trying to play a lot of these balls towards the net. I think it's hurting them, the fact that these headers are not allowed. It seems to be just the natural inclination to go that way on the corner kicks. But Norwood has been ready with these new rules, and they've had 2 extra games compared to Dedham. So I wonder how the familiarity with the COVID rules is going to possibly help Norwood in this game.
Yeah, it could very well be. I mean, Dedham's looked good. They've definitely been pressuring Norwood.
This one, Dedham will maintain control.
Harassed out there by Pwan, but Dedham is able to turn.
Here's number 21 again for Dedham. We've seen a lot of energy from him in the early going. We don't have the Dedham rosters in front of us, but we'll go with their numbers and try to give them their due as well. They seem to be coming in with a lot of energy today themselves.
Absolutely. They've definitely been bringing the pressure to start the game.
This one rolls all the way to the back fence as the official waits for the ball to come back into play.
Yep, and so I think another corner kick for Dedham, their 3rd, possibly 4th of the game. I may have lost count already, but definitely just a sign of how much pressure they've brought to start this game.
Absolutely. And they'll set that up again. Number 14 now for Dedham. And they have the 2 of them back near the corner kick. This is something we're seeing a lot, I think, because of the way they can't put that ball in the air. This one comes in and a quick play, a little confusion near the net. Norwood can't quite get it out. And that one looks like it went off the Norwood player. Good job getting the ball out of there.
Yeah, so out for another corner kick. Dedham
I think
definitely.
that was 18, Micah Papadopoulos, who got that ball out of there.
I think you're right. It was definitely a scramble in front of the net, though, so hard to tell exactly who got a foot on the ball, but I think you're right.
And the game of corner kicks will continue, or at least the modified version. A nice move by Dedham.
Absolutely.
And gobbled up was that Micah again, it looks like, near the net as Zach Gorn kicks it away.
Oh, that was handled very well by Yuri. He took that ball out of the air with a really nice trap and touching it ahead there to Dan Silva again. But
looks like Yuri had some glue on his foot on that one. He did a really nice job corralling it.
Absolutely. Pwan Tamang trying to control the ball, getting it forward to Tim Lee. But Dedham's doing a great job of defending. Norwood hasn't really been able to string much together in the Dedham end at this point, and we'll see if Norwood could kind of settle things down and maybe get a little more pressure to bear. Some substitutions here.
Let's see who we got. It looks like Nevin Kelly is going out for Norwood.
I think Rafael De Silva took his spot. And then I think Louis Philippe Pino also came in, number 13.
21 is taking a rest for Dedham. We've seen a lot of energy from him as a striker. Actually, I'm sorry. It looks like he's still in there, just moving to the opposite side of the field.
So I think another Dedham ball, either a corner again or a kick in from a dangerous spot.
And the flag got knocked over there, so
along with a Dedham player.
They both seem to be okay, both the flag and the player.
It looks like maybe it's actually going to be a Norwood goal kick. My bad.
We'll have it. Number 0, Zach Gorin, the keeper, wearing green today for Norwood. The Dedham keeper is also in green, but a very lime green on his end. You'll see him possibly soon if Norwood can get something going. And it looks like Coach Peguero on the Norwood sideline motioning a couple of his players. This one goes right to one of the Dedham players, number 7.
Who handles it well. Rafael De Silva with his first touch. Oh, an unfortunate miscommunication there and a giveaway at a really dangerous spot.
Some really nice control there, though, on the defensive end for Norwood. That looks like Giacomo Serratori.
Yeah. Did a nice job.
We were talking about his name earlier, how he's been playing well in defense, and we're seeing it again today.
Pwan up to Tim Lee. Nicely done there. Let's see if they can make something happen with this.
An energy looking for Rafael De Silva in the middle of the field.
Just a little too far for Rafael to get to on that first touch, but there's again taking a little shove in the back on that, but no call, and Dedham goes the other way.
Dedham with a little energy working against Cam LaPiccolo. Now it's played up, and that's Connor Curran providing some tough defense for Norwood as it goes out. And Norwood will keep the ball. Connor plays it safely back, and a drive. I can't quite make out the Norwood player there.
I think that's Louis Pino.
Louis Pino jogging up after the drive that I think has ticked out of bounds. Dedham now into the middle of the field.
Good step there by Micah Papadopoulos to send the ball forward.
A good challenge by Tim Lee taking on 2 Dedham players.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now we're getting a little bit of that pinball action at midfield as no one can quite settle it down.
It's been a lot of 2-on-1, but Norwood has been hanging in there with the defenders. Here's Yuri Nevis and Cam LaPiccolo making life difficult for the Marauders.
That's a nice ball by Cam LaPiccolo up. Oh, and unfortunately, well played by Dedham. Raphael and Tim weren't quite able to get to it. Oh, and I think they say he played that ball with his hand.
Yeah, it looks like it might have gone off his forearm or his elbow on that one, and it will be Dedham ball. But Yuri's done a really nice job controlling the ball early on in the middle of the field, and that's something hopefully this JV squad can use to their advantage if they're able to play that really well and control it with their feet.
Yeah, no, really well done by Yuri on that one long ball that he just brought out of the air very nicely.
Good step again there by Micah Papadopoulos, and now
Tim Lee with the ball at his feet, looking for Rafael da Silva.
He might have had Raphael, but number 4 for Dedham is there on defense.
Yep, angled him off nicely and is just going to escort the ball out for a Dedham goal kick.
Yeah, smart play as he watches that ball go out and takes the safe play, getting back to his keeper.
Well, and there's some of the COVID rules too, in that you can't really hard to get around somebody when you're not allowed to touch them. So
that's it.
There's the Dedham keeper with his first goal kick.
That comes out to about the 40. Cam LaPiccolo's there to play it.
It's a good step. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite put it on Norwood feet. And there's Puan Tamang looking for Rafael da Silva up top, and just a little too much on that one, right through to the Dedham keeper, who handles it very easily.
Raphael's had his chances. He's been close in the early going. They've been trying to get the ball to him.
No, he's definitely been making some good runs without the ball. There's a nice
Here's a run for Dedham,
on.
21 again as Micah chases him down. Keeper comes out. Oh, and it goes off the side, and Goran's able to dive on the ball for Norwood.
Well done. That was great job by Zach to come down out and cut down the angle, forcing the Dedham player to try and thread the needle, and he just couldn't quite do it. And then Zach recovered nicely and wrapped up that rebound off the post. So well done. I mean, great chance there by Dedham, and well played by the Norwood keeper, Zach Garin.
Norwood has not given up on some of these goals, and Dedham has had chances, and that's kept this score knotted at 0 so far. Player taken down, it looks like.
Yep, this will be a direct kick, so this should be able to be driven directly at goal without a. There'll have to be no first touch or anything.
So we won't see the segmented wall, I guess, that we've been seeing with COVID lately.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here with the Dedham players can make this run correctly, and this ball is placed well. This could be very dangerous. Good run.
Ball towards goal, and trying to work hard and falling down is one of the Dedham players near the goal. The keeper looks back to see
the whistle, but I think the ref was just signaling the goal kick. I don't think any.
And it looks like it will be a goal kick for Norwood.
And a Dedham substitution, number 4 going off.
And I think we're waiting on retrieving the soccer ball right now.
Yeah, I think it's the second ball that's delivered back into that corner. So
it's been bouncing around in that corner a little bit, and eventually this ball will come back in play. Zach Goran, the goalkeeper, seems eager to play it.
I think the ball that just came out of the bushes now has to go be sanitized.
Ah, that's right. Some of the things...
No, I guess they're putting it into play.
Some confusion, I think, with the sanitation rules early on.
Yep.
We see a couple balls, and there's another ball kicking around towards the sideline near midfield.
Yeah, I think normally there should be more balls along the sideline here, and for whatever reason, Norwood didn't get them out this morning.
And now we have 2 in play, and Puan Tamang will bring that over to the sideline.
Okay.
All right, I think we're set up for a kick from Zach Goran, the goalkeeper. Getting close to 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Zach kicks a low liner, comes to about the 30. Now Dedham with a chance.
Oh, it's right through there. Well-weighted ball.
And this one will go in. It is a goal for Dedham. Some good work up front. Number 21, number 20, and number 14 for the Marauders will put Dedham on the board first. And with roughly 2 minutes to go, it is 1-0 Dedham early on in this early morning JV match.
Yeah, I think, with the weight of play and the run of play, it was just inevitably it seemed like the ball was going to find the back of the Norwood net. That Dedham had just been able to bring a lot of pressure. And, that wasn't a particularly hard struck ball, but I think they just managed to pull Zach enough off of his line that he wasn't able to recover for that, and the ball finds the back of the net. Now here's Rafael Da Silva with a chance.
Good ball, and well, Tim Lee thought he was going to get a nice header chance there, but I think he realized the second he did it that is not allowed these days.
I think he might have actually been just trying to use his back on that one. But yeah, how do you handle a ball? Maybe if you're good enough to do a bicycle kick, perhaps you could do that, but difficult to take a ball out of the air above your head without using your head.
It was well struck by Rafael. The lead-in and the header chance looked like a great chance for Norwood, but the second that ball went up, I think we were thinking here in the booth, and potentially you were at home, that, well, if he strikes it with his head, that's going to be Dedham ball.
And so it was.
Absolutely. But a good chance for Norwood, as Rafael was able to make a strong move on the outside. Wasn't able to quite get around number 2 for Dedham as he played some good defense towards the corner, but Rafael put it towards the middle, and almost a chance for the Mustangs.
So some substitutions there. We see Rafael, who had that great cross, just subbed out for Samayan Paranjpe, who's number 26 for Norwood. I think in the center of the field there, that might be... Sorry, I think there's a substitution. 27. Oh, Jason Lay, who's come in. And then Wallach Jean-Pierre. So I think a wholesale substitution of the front line there by Coach Peguero, giving these boys a chance to finish out the quarter.
Yeah, a couple minutes here to go in the first quarter in a close game. It's nice to see them getting some good competitive action. This one goes in, and a strong run down the sideline for Norwood. Wallach Jean-Pierre gave that a look, but the keeper gobbles it up.
Yeah, nice step there by Micah Papadopoulos, who just maybe a little too much on that ball for
Here's
Wallach.
A chance for Dedham as Norwood running back, and a Dedham player goes down. Around the ball was Giacomo Serratori, and he was able to catch up to it, and the ball now comes back out to about the 30-yard line on the field.
Oh, and that's a good through ball, but handled easily by Zach. And then a quick outlet to Pawan and see if he can...
Great pressure from Dedham. It looked like number 7 was getting close there, and Pawan wasn't quite sure of where he was and got the ball away. And that's Smayan Paranje along the sideline. He's provided some solid energy off the bench in the last couple minutes, but it looks like we'll go to the second quarter of action. It is Dedham 1, Norwood nothing. A good contested match on a beautiful fall morning, and we'll be back with the second quarter in just a bit after these messages.
Hi, I'm Chief Bill Brooks of the Norwood Police Department. The men and women of the Norwood PD are committed to protecting you and to providing you with top quality service. We're busy. Norwood is a nice town, but in any given 24-hour cycle, we handle anywhere from 65 to 90 radio calls and officer-initiated events. We patrol the town's 10 square miles, including over 100 miles of roadways. Our traffic enforcement focuses on places where crashes have occurred, neighborhoods where residents have reported chronic violations, and offenses that impact crashes, like speed, texting, running stop signs and red lights, and failing to yield to pedestrians. When we're not tied up on calls, we work hard to build relationships with members of the community. So you'll see our officers out walking footbeats, checking in with merchants, and stopping at sporting events to chat with kids. We believe that every resident should know, or at least feel like they know, a member of our department. So if you see us, stop and say hello. We'd love to chat with you. On behalf of the men and women of the Norwood Police Department, it's our pleasure to serve you.
Do you want to stay up to date with Norwood Community Media? Then subscribe to our weekly NCM newsletter. Every Friday, our promotions department publishes an online newsletter that highlights the work of NCM and the latest happenings. It includes the full episode of Norwood News, recent clips from NCM programs, behind-the-scenes photos, and so much more. NCM works hard to deliver a steady stream of Norwood content, and this newsletter is another way to stay connected to Norwood. To receive the newsletter, just visit www.norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Scroll to the bottom of the page, click the Sign Up for Our Newsletter button, and enter some basic information. You'll then be added to our newsletter mailing list. It's all here on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood.
I mean, we're runners, and so that's kind of been the athletic outlet, but, you know, you want to do things with the team.
Yeah.
So must be glad track is happening.
Yeah, he's, well, I don't know. I think
Dedham puts this ball back in play, and we are back in a 1-0 JV boys soccer contest here at Murray Field in Norwood. Joe Panola and Eric Bodenhofer with you today. This one on the far sideline, and Pawan Tamang gives it a look as it rolls out of bounds.
so. Yeah, not a bad first quarter for Norwood. You know, I think Dedham really did have the run of play. Norwood threatened a few times, but nothing really sustained, and it felt like the field was kind of tipped towards the Norwood goal. But generally equally matched. I think this is a talented Dedham JV squad that's facing a pretty talented Norwood JV squad. So I'm looking forward to another 3 quarters of really good soccer action.
Absolutely. And it looks like we've got some different players in here for Norwood. Coach Peguero trying to get a little bit of extra energy perhaps off his bench to start the second quarter. We see Wallach Jean-Pierre, number 22, is back out there for Norwood. Jason Lee is back out for Norwood.
Yeah, and Saman Paranjpe is again, or Smayan, sorry. I apologize to his entire family and all his relatives who are watching this, but...
There's Jason Lee giving a good run. Now down the sidelines, that's Issa Gadboni, it looks like, number 10.
A good through ball, see if Zach handles that easily.
He does, and this one off the shoulder
Of Kong Win there.
Kang is still around there. Now gives us to the sideline. Finds number 26. That's Smayan.
And then from Pawan looking for that through ball up to Jason Lay and to Issa.
We're getting to know a lot of these players on Norwood and Dedham, but they've been pretty impressive in the early going. A lot of energy, which is tough when you're not used to your regular slate of sports due to the regulations and restrictions from the towns and governments because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think it's been a good game so far. And another attempt there by Norwood with the through ball, just rolled out over the touchline for the Dedham goal kick.
We've seen some good speed. I'm just kind of watching on the left side of your screen. We saw number 21 for Dedham making a lot of runs. Wallach Jean-Pierre right there with a really strong run for Norwood. He wasn't necessarily close to the play, but he didn't give up on that. He was still working hard out there.
Absolutely.
Now some more subs coming in for Norwood. It looks like we'll get a couple of them. That's Cam LaPiccolo going off, it looks like.
No, I think yep, sorry, Cam LaPiccolo going off.
Jason
yep.
Lee going off, and let's see who's coming in. Dan Silva, one of the freshmen on the team, is coming in.
And I think Brandon Santana came in.
Nevin Kelly is also back out there as Issa Gadboni goes off, as does, I think that's Pawan Tamang taking his first rest of the day.
Right.
And Yuri Nevis is back out there, number 50, who had a nice first half, really solidifying the middle of the field for Norwood. Here's
Absolutely.
Tim Lee with it.
Looking for Rafael De Silva up on the wing, and the Dedham keeper comes way off his line to scoop that up easily.
He's been aggressive early on, that Dedham keeper, and that's been an advantage for him because he's been able to snuff out some Norwood plays early on. This one now a chance for Norwood. That's Giacomo Serratori.
I think probably was trying to angle that out of bounds and instead ended up driving it deep, but handled nicely by Zach there. And way to find is that Nevin?
That's Nevin Kelly down the sideline. One of the Dedham players puts his hands up as the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Dedham ball.
Well, but that was pretty well done by Zach, having to settle that ball and then under pressure send that up to Nevin, and there was, unfortunately, they couldn't quite keep it on the field of play, but good play out of the back.
He got it out of there, and now there's a kick in, and that's Brandon Santana in the middle of the field, but Dedham tries to work around him.
No, I think they took Norwood by surprise there. I don't think anyone anticipated that nice overlapping run from the Dedham player. Offsides.
Yeah,
the offsides.
That looks like offsides. Yep.
I think the Dedham player thinks he was whistled for touching the ball while the keeper had it, but it was actually an offsides call.
That's it. And now Zach Gorin will settle it. He motions back to Giacomo Serratore, who plays it. And a strong ball up towards midfield, played by Tim Lee.
Looking through the touch through to Raphael. Just couldn't quite put the right angle on that, but he gets it back.
Tim now gets this one up, but the Dedham keeper is there. You can see Yuri knew that there was a chance there, but the Mustangs unable to capitalize.
Yeah, both keepers are playing well, and
they are. We've seen Zach Gorin for Norwood with a lot of chances on him, but he's been up to the task for the most part.
He has. Oh, and
here's a chance for 18 for Dedham. Connor Curran giving chase and right into the keeper. A nice play to corral it by Zach Gorin as he gets it back out. Dedham is still on the attack. Here's number 18, and Connor Curran forces him to the sideline.
Yeah, I think this Dedham speed is taking Norwood a little bit by surprise, and that run from the far side of the field away from the ball, I think the Norwood defense had lost track of, or just didn't see him coming, and the ball over the top, they thought they were safe, and resulted in that chance that Connor helped snuff out. And
definitely, yeah. Connor was ready and was kind of a steadying presence on that play for Norwood, which was nice to see. And he again forces now the kick from the sideline from one of the Dedham players.
Nevin Kelly running up on that ball with lots of real estate in front of him. See if he can get past the Dedham. Oh, and a nice
good
touch
play
up to
by
Raphael.
Nevin to get it by him. Nevin now still working on that sideline. Dedham has it go off their foot, and we'll see whose ball it is.
I think the ref is signaling for a Dedham kick-in, unfortunately.
I
But well done
believe
there
so.
by Nevin. A good touch forward to Raphael, and then hassled the Dedham player. Resulted in a kick-in, but slowed things down, allowed Norwood to get back into their shape and be ready to defend. So
Definitely. And Coach Peguero's been getting a lot of guys action here, especially in the second quarter early on, and we like seeing the energy from a lot of different folks.
absolutely.
Still no sign of Patrick Kelly, so we're not sure if he's hurt today, but number 8 hasn't made his presence on the field yet.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure I don't even think I see him on the sideline. So it may very well be that under the COVID rules, injured players aren't allowed to attend the games. Oh, nicely done there by Raphael to knock down that pass from Tim Lee.
This one goes sky high off the side of the goalpost as the goalpost rattles around a little bit.
But that was some nice teamwork there, some good passing and finding the open man, and unfortunately just couldn't quite put it on net. But let's see if Norwood can keep this pressure up.
Starting to see Norwood's offense come alive a little bit. Dan Silva, one of the freshmen, also working hard in there. And I believe that was Nevin Kelly also getting involved. We've seen a lot from him here in the early second quarter.
Certainly have. And like you said, it's nice to see all the boys getting a chance out there. I mean, I think we want this JV program to be an opportunity for these boys to develop as players and to kind of improve that pipeline. And so I think the more chances they get out there, the better. Nevin Kelly again fighting hard over there, defending against the Dedham ball.
Now Dedham trying to sneak it past the back line, but some really good hustle there by Kang Win. And he's able to force that one to the sideline. Nice play by Kang. Dedham seemed to think they got it past him, but his speed was enough to snuff it out.
Yeah, but Dedham continues to really be able to. You're using that through ball pretty effectively and really putting some pressure on the Norwood defense. And you see number 18 for Dedham making these wide runs, looking for the ball over the top.
Here's a kick that just goes wide from number 4. Around the play to kind of perhaps get in his head a little bit was Brandon Santana and Yuri Nevis. And Norwood will get a goal kick.
So some substitutions here. We've got Dan Silva going off, Brandon Santana, and Nevin Kelly. And returning, we've got Issa Gadbuni, Kamla Piccolo, and I think Pawan Tamang. So sort of a midfield substitution.
Yeah, no, those guys are working hard out there. No surprise that the coach wants to get them a little bit of a break here as this ball pushed out of bounds by Giacomo Serratore. A little bit of confusion. And we're switching balls, it appears. A lot of talking from the Dedham team. They've been communicating a lot out there. That's a nice sign.
Yuri trying to make the turn, couldn't quite do it.
So now in
Nice
the middle,
step by
strong
Giacomo.
play.
See if Tim Lee can... Oh, and look at the Dedham keeper coming
Wow.
way off his line to send that ball out, snuff out any real chance for Tim Lee there. I have to say, I think the the Dedham defender there, 23 it might be, he seemed to have a good step on Tim, and I'm not sure, even with Tim's speed, that he was going to get around him, but well done by the Dedham keeper to make sure nothing came of that.
Dedham keeper almost making sure that nothing could happen from a funny bounce, which is a smart play. Here's Yuri Nevis working in the middle of the field against, it looks like 18, 14, and 20, taking on 3 guys for Dedham.
Ooh,
Now a ball that gets through, and here coming out of the goal is Zach Gorin, number 21 for Dedham, goes down. And the ref will come out.
That really ought to go Norwood's way.
And
Okay, good.
I believe it will, yes.
Yeah.
He came in with a head of steam 21, and if he had a couple extra feet to work with, he might have been able to do something on net. But Zach Gorin doing a nice job of cutting down that angle and coming out pretty far from the goal.
Yep. So Dedham's been doing a great job of timing their runs and getting through.
Nice play by Issa Godboni in the middle of the field.
Oh,
Camilo Piccolo putting it behind his back.
Nice little heel flick on
Wow.
there, trying to get to Yuri, but couldn't quite do it. But
Showing off some moves there. That was pretty neat as the Dedham player was looking to move around him and didn't see that coming.
no, it was great by Cam to just. I mean that was not done just willy nilly. He knew Yuri was there and did a great job of trying to find him with the pass that Dedham wasn't going to expect. The unfortunate touchback out and a turnover to Dedham here.
Let's see if I think they're going to swap that ball out because it touched one of the Dedham players accidentally touched it with his hands, and that seems to be the confusion here.
All right, so now.
So strange to these players. You touch a ball, and all of a sudden that ball is going to make its way to the sideline.
Yeah.
Here's number 4 for Dedham and number 18. We've seen those two around the ball a lot. They seem to be working well together. Now, again, Dedham trying to sneak this in. Here's 21 down the sideline.
Good through
Puts
ball.
it towards the net, but just not enough on that shot. That was
No.
close. He had a good angle on it, too.
He absolutely did. I think if 12 had been able to get his foot entirely well on that, it would have been in the back of the net. But couldn't quite strike it solidly, and Zach was there to just scoop up the dribbler. So
Zach has been busy today, but he's been ready for it.
he certainly has.
A lot of chances for Dedham. Norwood trying to get that going. Now middle of the field, and
Another
Yuri
good job.
Nevis almost controls it, but Dedham is able to pick it up, and some speed down the sideline for 14 as Connor Curran sees it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, this Dedham team really does seem kind of pretty fast across their roster. A lot of good speed. They're really quick to the ball, and I think a few times Norwood has felt like they've lifted their head up, felt like they had time, put their head back down, and then Dedham just closes a lot more quickly than I think they expect. So
Dedham doing a lot of changes. Number 15 coming in. Looks like a couple other players making their presence. Here's 14, 20, and 18 working the ball in. And Camilo Piccolo trying to get it out. Doesn't quite get all of it. And a leaping attempt by Rafael da Silva.
Yeah, tried to get his chest on it, which is not the... Oh, a nice job there by Puan Tamang. Looking to try and find Tim Lee. Couldn't quite get past the Norwood defender, the Dedham defender.
Here's some good speed from Issa Godboni in the middle. Almost got to that. We've seen a lot of energy from him coming in and out of play.
Absolutely.
Puan now working on the sidelines against number 7, who comes in with a boatload of energy for Dedham. And there's number 8, I believe, one of the players that just subbed in. Giacomo Serratori will now have to do some work to get that ball towards the sideline.
Snuff out the threat, but definitely pressured there by 21, and all he could really do was put that ball out of touch. So.
And number 21 on number 21, it seems like back there. Norwood's been giving a lot of attention. Here's a ball in, but
that was a nice
Micah
run.
is there.
That was a nice. Oh, that's
right into the middle, and number 8 is going to put it home for Dedham. A really solid pass back to the middle of the field for Dedham, and they were able to put that home for the second goal of the game.
Yeah, that was really well done, and just I think Dedham's shown a real ability to make those runs and put those balls into space, and that was just a nice example of that. And nothing Zach could do on that one, and I think, quite honestly, Norwood's defense just got caught flat-footed and couldn't recover, and numbers in the box, and
Solid fundamentals for the Marauders. I think that's something the coach really likes to see. That's a team goal right there.
Absolutely.
Here's some work on the sideline for Puan Tamang, and he can't quite keep it in bounds. Grabs his foot, but he seems okay. We have 3 minutes left to go here in the first half of action. It is 2-0 Dedham. Once it gets to 2 minutes, the ref will keep the remaining time on the field, so we won't know exactly where we are. But getting close to the waning minutes of this second quarter.
Yeah, and we've seen some good things from Norwood through the course of this quarter. They just haven't been able to string anything together to get real sustained pressure, and they've been playing back on their heels a bit. Dedham's doing a good job of getting those balls over the defense and through, and so just really making them work hard. And so credit to Dedham. They're playing really good soccer, and Norwood is defending very well, but just...
There's a good play by Cam LaPiccolo getting his foot on that one.
Absolutely.
And Puan Tamang now working down the sidelines.
But the quick turnover again to Dedham, and they're once again pressuring. And
now in the middle of the field, this one goes in, and that will be the third goal of the game. Dedham goes up 3-0.
Yeah, if you've got to defend this much, it just sometimes it just becomes too much, and it's easy for the giveaways, and that an unfortunate bounce, and suddenly Dedham sprung into the box, and once again, very little Zach could do on that.
Absolutely, and that looks like, if we can get the number from here, is that 19 with the goal for Dedham?
It might be.
He was getting some congratulations on that sideline.
Rafael De Silva with the ball at his feet, hassled there by Dedham's number 7, who's been very active.
Tim Lee trying to work around 3 defenders, and he's still comes close to moving that. Stepping in is Issa Gadboni, but Dedham works it around him, number 20 in the middle of the field. Here's 18 again, who's been very vocal trying to set up the offense for Dedham. Once again puts his hand in the air as he gives a good run with number 21.
Who I think was offsides, but...
No call, though.
No call, so...
Giacomo Serratori does a nice job getting it to Cam LaPiccolo. Now to Yuri Nevis in the middle of the field.
Yeah, you're very impressed by Yuri's ability to bring the ball down out of the air. And there's Issa Gadbuni making a run up the side.
Let's see if Issa can give them a little bit of energy.
Nicely done there. Buying himself some space. But closed off.
Dedham defender, yeah.
Didn't give up. Got back around and made that deflection there.
Here's number 20 in the middle of the field for Dedham. Gives it up to 14. Now a ball down the side, and Dedham with another chance.
Yep, and they were on. There's just very little. Oh, nicely done by Zach. Oh, unfortunate.
Well, Dedham is able to finish the job, and just an unfortunate bounce for Zach there as Dedham puts in their 4th goal with probably a little bit under a minute left here in the second quarter. It is 4-0 Marauders. They've controlled the offense, and now we're starting to see late in the second quarter that those chances are starting to go in. Zach did a nice job attacking it, but just unfortunately the ball bounced the wrong way, and the Dedham player number 21 was able to collect it and pot the goal.
Yeah, just once again, they're playing those balls over the top, able to run in on them and just have numbers in the box. But hey, Norwich shouldn't get too discouraged. There's as much time left in this game as for them to score 4 goals as it took for Dedham to score their 4. So they're not out of it, and they keep battling and work their way back in.
Plenty of time. We see some new players back in for Norwood. It looks like Brandon Santana, Nevin Kelly, and Dan Silva have returned for the Mustangs.
And I think Jason Lay is also back in.
Wallach Jean-Pierre is as well, and looks like Smayan Paranje is as well. Wholesale change for Coach Peguero here in the waning moments of the second quarter. Coming out again from his net is the neon green keeper for the Marauders.
Nice little passing there between...
And a player goes down. Did Giacomo trip him up there?
I think it might, yeah, it's definitely.
I'm sorry, that was Luis Pino working on the sideline.
And that's the end of the first half.
4-0 Dedham early on. They've put a lot of pressure on the Mustangs. Credit to the Marauders and their keeper also being aggressive. But Norwood is hanging in there and they're fighting. Thoughts on the first half here, Eric?
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue that the run of play wasn't in Dedham's favor, and the score certainly reflects that. I think we saw good things from the Norwood offense when they could string things together, but just too much pressure, and eventually the wheels kind of came off a little bit, and we ended up where we are now. But like I said before, there's a full half of soccer, and let's see what Norwood can come out and do.
You never know what can happen, and we will be anxiously awaiting the start of the second half here. 4-0 Dedham in this JV boys soccer match on a beautiful Saturday morning, trending into afternoon here, and the varsity game will follow us after the second half. We'll return with more action from Murray Field after these messages.
Hello everybody and welcome into the sports update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn and Dover Sherborne was the next opponent to come to town over the weekend in our Fall 1 Sports Weekend coverage. Let's get right into it and go goal by goal of all the action up at Murray Field.
Gloria. Juan, who's going to put a ball over the top, see if Tim Lee can run onto that. And he does.
Oh, he does nicely.
Oh.
Hey, and he's able to put that through. Oh, fantastic! You could see you can see the way Come kind of turned. Patrick Kelly, yeah, you can see him stepping up. Oh, well done.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, that was a great play. Boy, is that smart.
Yeah.
The Mustangs are able to tie this one and come out of this with a beautiful day up here at the high school. Your final score from the high school: Norwood 2 and Dover Sherborne 2.
Carl's, yep, and the ball's able to do in the air.
Nice ball
Will
from Carl.
Oh, and
Putting that
nice.
in, it looked like down the sideline was that 24?
Yeah, so Dante Zaldivar, I think, at the goal after Carl's knock in, and then I'm not sure who touched it a little bit further on, but
So we're excited to see the 2-0-1 undefeated Mustangs.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hopefully continue on their run as they take on the same Raiders tomorrow.
Zaldivar is going to put this ball in play for the Mustangs. That's a nice ball through.
No.
Hey! Outstanding.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a well-struck ball.
that
Nice
was
job.
a terrific ball. Here's some nice little pressure here to kind of wind up the third quarter. Shot there, rolls in.
Oh, my goodness.
It rolls in. Oh,
Tied.
outstanding.
Yes.
And Dover Sherborne absolutely explodes here in this fourth quarter as they're able to put 5 in, and they were able to pull away fairly easily here in this fourth quarter. And so here is a huge opportunity for the Mustangs here to try to get one on the board. And she's able to bury it.
Awesome.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Great
I thought these Mustangs, they played in a fantastic soccer game.
I have to agree, and I think, DS, obviously we don't know exactly how every team will match up, but DS looked talented to me. Maybe Bree can do a quick reverse here, get a shot off. Ooh, so close. Nice. Bree, from basically her knees, gets that shot in on the far left side. That was really impressive, and she stuck with it. It's just exciting to have everyone back out here. Obviously, it's a different setup. Every game schedule is a little different, but I think the girls are just so happy to be playing their sport, especially for the seniors.
And they are up top. Here's a shot. Here's a shot. Here's a chance by Sarah Welsh. Oh, the goalie came out and saved that. Great save. Great save, but what a great job. And now Norwood's got to get back.
Oh, boy.
Here's some time. You get down to 19 seconds. Oh, and Norwood's able to get back defensively. And again, there's kind of maybe that foul in the box. So that's going to come out to the 25, and that may run the clock, and that may do it. Oh, boy, what great chances end to end.
In cross-country action this week, the Mustangs bounced back after a few tough losses to start the year. The girls picked up a W, 37-20, and the boys going to win 30-27. Both great performances from the Mustangs to start the year. In golf action, the Mustang seniors competed in their last match of the season and fell by 1 stroke to Medfield, 228-227. Congratulations to all the seniors on a great finish to the year. And don't forget as well, we get another great slate of games coming up for you against Dedham, including the annual Morales Cup game between the boys soccer programs. This year, since there will be a home-and-home game for each side this weekend, the cup will be awarded by aggregate score, meaning the total number of goals in both games combined. Again, a reminder, you can watch that game live on NCM starting at 11 a.m. Catch you here this weekend. Thanks for tuning in.
JV boys soccer action here from Murray Field. Joe Panola, Eric Bodenhofer with you. Dedham with a 4-0 lead early on as we start the third quarter.
Nice through ball there from Camilo Piccolo up to
Luis
Felipe Pino. Yep.
And working along the sideline. Pino seemed to have some good energy coming out of the half. Given chase was the Dedham defender number 2. Looks like Smayan Paranje is starting the second half for Norwood, who's mixing things up a little bit. Evan Kelly back on defense. We saw Wallach Jean-Pierre in the middle of the field to start play.
So great ball by Camilo Piccolo. Just unfortunately, no one actually knew that. No one on Norwood running in on that.
Solid contact, though, as Dedham, who has switched their goalkeepers. That is a goalkeeper wearing red and not the same neon green before.
No, I think their keeper is now out on the field, number 22 there, directly in front of us. Because he's the only one wearing black tights, so I think he was doing that so that he could play keeper. Oh, nice step there by Dan Silva, battling over there with the Dedham defender number 20.
And this one looks like it will be
another Dedham
ball.
Kick in.
They will keep it, backing up a little bit and maintaining that distancing is Brandon Santana.
A good little put. Well, Jean-Pierre just couldn't quite get there, but...
No, there to gobble it up, though, for Norwood is Dan Silva. And now Micah Papadopoulos in the middle of the field. Takes a swing at it, but still maintains control. Dan now working back. Has 3 Dedham defenders around him, but Norwood still giving pressure. Here's 24 for Dedham.
For the through ball.
And this one rolls out. Those kind of seem to be the balls that Dedham has been using to their advantage. They get a through ball that maybe happens to take the right bounce, and man, their strikers are real fast today.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And I think, as well as Norwood is playing as a defense, they probably are missing a bit of Pat Kelly and his speed. During halftime, got confirmation that he is in fact out with an ankle injury, and so not on the sidelines, and is hopeful that he'll be back on the pitch for Norwood next weekend, but not here today. So I wish him a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure after this weekend, 4 games remaining, I believe, on the schedule. Hopefully Patrick will be ready to go for those.
Yeah, and unfortunately with the home and home sort of thing going on here, you get injured on Saturday. There's no time to recover by Sunday. So
that's it. Well, one advantage to those home and homes is we're seeing a lot of different players come in because it takes a lot out of you to play 2 full games in a whole weekend. And so we saw Coach Healy doing it on the varsity level, and now Coach Peguero with the JV level, just using their bench very actively throughout the games, and the players seem to have responded.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's an opportunity both at this level and at the varsity level. I mean, there aren't playoffs. There's no tournament, so an opportunity for coaches to maybe play more kids than they might otherwise, because the win-loss record isn't quite as important. And not to say that this is a lost season, but it's not. Oh shoot, it's not the. It's not. I forgot to start the clock. Just realized. It's not. It's not your normal season, and so maybe a chance for, especially a coach like Coach Healy, who's in his first season as a varsity coach, an opportunity to see maybe more of his players in game situations. For Coach Peguero, an opportunity to give kids game time and develop his players as the season progresses. So
Dedham now will try to put this one into play. Norwood, with their segmented wall, will move the ball up with Dan Silva. Puts it up ahead for Brandon Santana, and that one will roll out of bounds. Well, even such, with a lot of new players coming in and a lot of new rules trying to get figured out, the Norwood varsity team 2-0-2, trying to keep up that undefeated start today. They'll play at noon today. You'll see that game right here on Norwood Community Media. And the Norwood JV squad, sporting a 2-1-1 record. They will try to put a 3rd win potentially in that column, but they're going to need to do a little bit of work here in the second half. Nevin Kelly now with the ball at midfield for the Mustangs, as Jason Lee gives it chase to the sidelines.
Ball over the top there from Dedham, being run onto by number 12.
We've been so used to seeing 21 with some strong runs for Dedham. Now you got 12 and 22 as strikers on the sidelines. Camilo Piccolo with an active leg there, trying to snuff that out. Was that a little push from Luis Pino right there?
It was just a tap, letting him know that he was there. And there's a well-weighted ball through. He was definitely on. Nicely done by Zach.
Good play by Zach coming out. He gets knocked down as both players go to the ground. Zach looked to take almost like a hockey check on that play, but he popped right up.
He did. I think he caught the Dedham player in the small of his back, but certainly not a dirty play by the Norwood keeper. I think he's got the right to the ball in his box, and
And perhaps a game like this where he's under pressure a lot is good for the young goalkeeper. Zach, a sophomore, but it's perhaps causing him to be a little more aggressive, and he's played a great game so far. This one, he almost gives a nice chance to Dedham, but was able to rebound.
Yep. There's Wallach Jean-Pierre trying to chase that ball down, but just a little too much on it, and it's going to roll right back to the Dedham keeper.
And a strong run following up by Brandon Santana. We saw some good speed from him on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon definitely seems like a pretty fast player.
Luis Pino trying to control it. This one, I think, does go out of bounds, and Dedham's former keeper, or so we believe, based on the evidence of the black tights there, number 22, plays that one out. And Luis Pino will kick this ball back in for Norwood. And
substitution. Looks like Connor Kearns coming in for Micah Papadopoulos there.
Connor's been strong on defense for Norwood.
Absolutely.
We saw him in the first quarter. It looked like Dedham had a couple chances that Connor was able to escort to the sidelines.
Oh, look at that by Wallach. Nicely done to just thread the needle, run right through. Battling.
He's still going against 3 defenders.
Unfortunately, just too many white jerseys around him eventually, but nicely done by Wallach to really keep up that pressure.
He's really been someone who's been working hard and has really stood out for this Mustangs team.
Yeah, definitely. I think his effort is certainly there, and it's nice to see him get a chance out there and to take advantage of that chance.
Absolutely. It's Cam LaPiccolo. We've seen him with a couple strong drives.
The tightrope walk there along the sidelines.
Can't quite do it the whole way, but it was a good thought. And now Nevin Kelly, who's also had a very strong game to this point, will put the ball in for the Mustangs.
Go back to Connor Curran there.
Connor with a calm, measured approach for that. One of the Dedham players tries to kick it, but whiffs on it, and the ball will be controlled by Dedham again, by number 9, who puts this up. And Connor Curran making sure that this ball gets back to his keeper. Good play by Connor again to
nice
continue to do that.
Oh, no. Unfortunately, just a little too much on that from Zach to give the giveaway in the end.
I think he slightly overestimated Nevin's speed running for this one.
I think maybe you might be right. You might be right. Yeah, so Connor Curran, it's kind of interesting. I was talking to his dad, and he was saying that normally Connor would have gone out for football, but since that has been shifted to the fall 2 season, he thought, well, I should do something, and I'm going to give soccer a try again. And here we go. We've got a very strong defender on loan, I guess, from the Norwood football program.
There we go. We'll take it for this season when we see a lot of players coming in and out. And Connor's been real strong today, and hopefully is enjoying his soccer experience.
Yeah, and maybe this will be he'll decide that this is a little more fun than football.
We'll see what happens. Football right now up in the air. We'll see if they end up playing in the early part of 2021.
Yeah,
here's Dan Silva trying to stick with the Dedham attacker, and this one is gobbled up by the keeper for the Mustangs. Zach Gorin drives it away, and off the foot of Brandon Santana, who tries to coax it back in, but he's not able to, and puts his hands up as he moves back towards the middle of the field and gives Dedham their space here, which is something to be mindful of in today's COVID rules.
Absolutely.
Good aggressive defense from Luis Pino in the middle of the field. Tries to play it back,
Giacomo.
But number 12 for Dedham, almost playing defense while on offense there, and that almost turned into a nice chance for them.
Yeah, not a bad idea to go back to your defense and try and put that ball up over, but there was a lot on that, and Giacomo did a good job to be able to settle that and get it moving forward.
Absolutely. 10 minutes left here remaining in the quarter. A couple of whistles now, and the players will move up the field. Coming up real soon is the Norwood Turkey Trot. The 34th running of that. The NHS Athletic Boosters will still be hosting it this year. That despite the COVID rules, but it will be a virtual race, so you can run it anywhere you want between November 15th and November 22nd. So maybe while the weather's nice out, we'll get some folks running, or maybe see some folks from the soccer team doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, nice job by Zach to sniff that out. That was a well-timed run by pretty much the entire Dedham offense. They had numbers, and
Zach took them all on.
He did.
Here's the ball played up by Cam LaPiccolo to about midfield, and The Dedham player, number 4, kicks it up, does a little spin around, and looks to see where the ball heads. And giving it chase to the sideline is Jason Lee.
And out for a Dedham kick-in. So Dedham continues to bring the pressure with those through balls, and they're getting numbers in the box. So Norwood's got to be careful. I think they're doing a nice job of playing that offsides line, and it's difficult for the single ref sometimes to get that call right. And so if you keep pressuring them.
Absolutely. Dan Silva has that one snuffed out, but Norwood still able to drive the ball upwards.
Just a little wide for Brandon Santana to run in on.
Definitely. Nice to see some good energy from the young team, though, with, as we mentioned before, 9 freshmen on the roster. A couple of juniors providing some leadership. Hopefully we get Patrick Kelly back soon. But they're good. Down goes one of the players for Norwood.
Oh, yeah, and I think I've just realized now Ty Barrett is also missing from the sideline and the field, so I'm not sure.
I believe Jason Lee shaking his hand a little bit for Norwood as this ball is driven over the net by 22 for Dedham. It looks like Jason on the far side went down. He grabbed his hand immediately. I wasn't quite sure which one, but we'll see if he is all right. No sign of a trainer just yet.
No, I mean, he seems up and was just tying his shoe without. Oh, but now is he coming off? No, he's just getting wide.
Micah Papadopoulos seems to get moving. We might be seeing him in soon for the Mustangs. Or maybe he's just hustling to get some water from the sideline. Still holding it a little bit as Jason, but he looks good to go for the moment.
It's Dan Silver battling over there. No, I'm sorry. I got the wrong. Yeah, no, that is Dan Silver.
That is Dan Silva, yep.
I believe he was offsides.
And that appears to be the call as it goes wide of the net. The varsity team follows up action today. They are playing at noon against Dedham. Varsity is 2-0-2 after a win and a tie last weekend against Dover Sherburne. In fact, this is their 5th game of the season. That will mark the first half of the season, which is crazy how quickly things are flying by.
It really is. It really, really is.
And technically, this weekend is the 2nd annual Morales Cup, as we've learned. Norwood against Dedham varsity. The aggregate score between the 2 varsity soccer games this weekend will determine the winner of the Fernando Morales Cup. And this is the 2nd one that they're doing. They're continuing it this year. And so today's game at noon and then tomorrow's varsity game at 9 o'clock at Dedham will be totaled up, and the winner will be awarded the cup. I'm not sure if they have an actual cup. But
yeah, I don't know either, but I think it's a great tradition that's newly forming and honoring a great Norwood soccer alum, Fernando Morales, who just a great kid and a great player, and I think it's great that the 2 towns are continuing to do that.
Absolutely, yeah, keeping a really nice tradition alive despite, or at least a tradition they're trying to start up, and it's nice to see them doing it despite all the craziness this year. Here's some good speed and control from Brandon Santana.
Good idea by Wallach and Brandon, just couldn't quite connect.
And here's Luis Pino trying to move in there. Some really hard work again by Wallach Jean-Pierre. That was a neat pass back to
it was very well
Brandon.
done. Serving as the wall there, and just the kind of quick give and go. And then Smayan Paranjay working really hard there as well. Oh, and just a little confusion there between he and Dan Silva.
Kamala Piccolo stepping up now, trying to make things tough for number 4 on Dedham, who falls towards the sideline. And Nevin Kelly
couldn't quite make that turn, but good effort there.
Absolutely. He's been very, very active along the sides of the field.
Yeah, no, this is great. I think getting to call some
this
different
one,
names.
I think will be offsides.
Yep, just another. And Dedham once again trying those quick through passes to run on the ball. But it's been a great game. Maybe not score wise, but I think it's been great to be able to call the names of some players who maybe we haven't called their names in prior games, and they're getting some opportunities and making the most of them. So people like Wallach and Smayan and
Yep,
Nevin
Wallach a sophomore, Smayan a freshman forward, both of them forwards. We've got about 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 4-0 Dedham with the lead. And here's another chance for Dedham. Number 18 coming up real strong. Tries to dump it off for another player.
And Zach did a good job to come out and break that up, because there was definitely an opportunity there.
Now Smayan trying to work that to the sideline, and a whistle.
Yeah, I think calling the Dedham player for getting a little handsy in a way that might normally have been allowed, but I think with the whole no hand checking under the current rules.
Mm-hmm. That's it. And if you're going for the ball, I believe that's a little more relaxed. But
well, I think there's no hand checking at all. But yes, the physical contact is allowable if you have a play on the ball.
That's it. Which
seems like a very difficult standard to monitor as a ref, but
yeah, not necessarily an exact call to make. I think there's a lot of judgment in that, and the refs have been doing a good job to deal with these new rules and keep the games moving along just as they have. You try to find that balance of being strict about the rules and adhering to them, but also realizing that there are going to be some habits that these players have that are really tough to break.
Absolutely. Giacomo doing a good job again to sort of break up that chance from Dedham. He and Connor Curran doing a good job working in tandem there.
And there's 21 for Dedham, who we even see some hustle even on the sidelines. He just has energy wherever he goes today.
Absolutely.
Coming in, Connor Curran trying to move it out, and controlling it is Luis Pino for Norwood.
Winning the kick in.
Did that ball, I believe it did go off number 2 for Dedham, and Norwood will still have it.
And for Nevin Kelly to take the kick in here.
Coach Baguero giving this current lineup of players some run here.
Nice little move by Luis Pino. Oh, and he just...
We had an idea.
He totally did. You can see he was trying to spring Wallach and just couldn't quite. I think he struck that with the outside of his foot and didn't get it quite as cleanly as he would have liked. But still, again, it's nice to see that, right? You see the boys pick their heads up and see what the play is and whether they can truly execute or not. They're JV players, and they're just going to get better, and practice will lead to better passing and the like. But it's nice to see that they have the idea as the play develops. So.
Definitely. Nice to see that they're recognizing on the field what's happening, and hopefully with some more practice as the season moves along, some of these young players will be able to pick up more and more skills to be able to turn those into really quality plays.
Absolutely.
Here's a drive by the new Dedham keeper that'll go out to about the 35-yard line on the field. Nice play on defense to control it.
Yep. Oh, and that's a good job finding the open man, putting the ball into space. Oof. Yeah.
Now a run for Dedham with 12, and I believe that's 24 on the sidelines.
Thankfully, the ball just kept getting wider and wider, and so Norwood is able to come back and get back into their defensive position. But again, Dedham's doing a great job of really probing and testing this Norwood defense with those runs and those through balls.
And we have a minute left on our scoreboard, but it looks like the ref keeping the time down on the field will call this the end of the third quarter. And so with 3 quarters in the books, it is the Dedham Marauders 4 and the Norwood Mustangs 0. A lot of energy out there on the field, but the score right now looking like Norwood's going to need to do a little bit of work in the fourth quarter if they want to get back into this one.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, maybe they can.
We'll see. There is certainly time left, 20 minutes to go, and we'll be right back with you from Murrayfield after these messages.
Hi, I'm Chief Bill Brooks of the Norwood Police Department. The men and women of the Norwood PD are committed to protecting you and to providing you with top quality service. We're busy. Norwood is a nice town, but in any given 24-hour cycle, we handle anywhere from 65 to 90 radio calls and officer-initiated events. We patrol the town's 10 square miles, including over 100 miles of roadways. Our traffic enforcement focuses on places where crashes have occurred, neighborhoods where residents have reported chronic violations, and offenses that impact crashes, like speed, texting, running stop signs and red lights, and failing to yield to pedestrians. When we're not tied up on calls, we work hard to build relationships with members of the community. So you'll see our officers out walking footbeats, checking in with merchants, and stopping at sporting events to chat with kids. We believe that every resident should know, or at least feel like they know, a member of our department. So if you see us, stop and say hello. We'd love to chat with you. On behalf of the men and women of the Norwood Police Department, it's our pleasure to serve you.
Your home for all things Norwood. Online at norwoodcommunitymedia.org.
Living Local is a new program coming to Norwood Community Media that highlights businesses and events here in Norwood. Everything you need to know about eating local, shopping local, exercising local, or even creating local, you'll find it right here on NCM's newest program, Living Local. You'll get an inside look into what makes each business unique. Only on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood. Do you want to stay up to date with Norwood Community Media? Then subscribe to our weekly NCM newsletter. Every Friday, our promotions department publishes an online newsletter that highlights the work of NCM and the latest happenings. It includes the full episode of Norwood News, recent clips from NCM programs, behind-the-scenes photos, and so much more. NCM works hard to deliver a steady stream of Norwood content, and this newsletter is another way to stay connected to Norwood. To receive the newsletter, just visit www.norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Scroll to the bottom of the page, click the Sign Up for our newsletter button, and enter some basic information. You'll then be added to our newsletter mailing list. It's all here on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood.
Action. We are here at Murray Field in Norwood, Massachusetts, as the Dedham Marauders and the Norwood Mustangs JV boys soccer squad play. It is 4-0 Dedham right now here in the fourth, and I'm Joe Panola along with Eric Bodenhofer. Beautiful October or late October morning.
Yeah, though it's not quite as beautiful as when we first got up here. The clouds are kind of rolling in. Hopefully there's no actual rain coming.
Didn't look like it, but we still have the varsity match after us. The first half of the aggregate scoring for the Morales Cup that we talked about late in the third quarter. A few different players out there for Norwood. Looks like Tim Lee is back, number 1.
Trying to find Rafael da Silva, number 4.
Yuri Nevis is back as well. Isa Gadboni, number 10. Yuri is number 50. And that is Kang Win watching that ball go to the sidelines. Pawan Tamang back as well. So a lot of the players that we saw early on in the first quarter have returned for Coach Paguero.
Yeah, nice to see that those other lines, so to speak, got a fair amount of run in the third quarter, and so now some fresh legs here as well, and maybe some initial pressure snuffed out by Dedham.
Some nice movement there between Isa Gaboni and Yuri Nevis. Going up for it. I think maybe Rafael realized he couldn't head that ball as he was jumping for it.
Yeah. He just figured he'd distract the Dedham player.
I think that might have been successful for him.
Oh. So I think Isa just called for a push in the back there, and the ball going back to Dedham.
Connor Curnow with a strong kick. We heard that one from up here as it goes off 19 for Dedham.
Who seems entirely unaffected by it.
Absolutely. He just walked away like it was a ping pong ball hitting him. Here's Tim Lee, who will play it off the sideline.
Nope. But apparently needed to wait for the whistle.
Absolutely. He looks around, and I think now he's got the idea. We've learned today is a NHS boys soccer fundraiser from noon to 9:30 at Orange Leaf in Norwood. 15% of the sales there will be donated if you mention the fundraiser at checkout. So visit Orange Leaf today for a fundraiser to help out Norwood boys soccer.
Good day for some frozen yogurt.
Absolutely. A little warmer than typical this time of year.
Exactly.
Nice play by number 14 on Dedham and number 8 to work with each other as Issa was trying to step in between them. Issa Gadboni, number 10, 2 goals already this season for the Mustangs, now in their 5th game.
Oh, and
here's
that
a
was
chance.
Nice run there.
And he puts it towards the side. Number 19, who I believe has already scored at least once for Dedham today.
I think so. And that seemed like that play was being called there. The Dedham player on the sideline was making a hand signal, and it seemed to trigger those runs. So Dedham doing a good job with some set plays or some off of these kick-ins and making those good overlapping runs and those runs to really put pressure on the Norwood defense.
This ball will go out of bounds, and Dedham will have it. Giving some space is Pawan on the sideline.
19 looking through that, put that ball in, and Giacomo handles it relatively easily there and finds
does.
Pawan.
He looks like a nice young defender, Giacomo Serratori, number 21 for Norwood.
I think absolutely he does very well back there.
And they've been putting him on some of Dedham's premier strikers, and he's been up for the task for the most part.
No, absolutely, working really hard back there and doing a good job of recovering when beaten and not getting beaten all that often. So
absolutely, and that's a hallmark of a good defender. If you get beaten once, you get right back out there and you recover. And he's been really giving some good chase to some of these through balls for Dedham. This one, Riley LaPiccolo again. Sorry, not Riley. That's his brother.
Yeah.
That's Cam LaPiccolo playing this one back in. Another neat use of his foot, kind of playing it backwards when he was moving the other way. But here's a chance for Dedham.
And Giacomo once again just harassing 21 from Dedham enough that he couldn't run directly at that ball and giving the Norwood keeper Zach Gorin a chance to come out and scoop it up. So well done there by both the keeper and the defender.
Absolutely. 12 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. 4-0. Dedham Marauders with the lead.
Dedham really just continuing to have the balance of play in the Norwood defensive end and really putting pressure on that Norwood back line. And thus far they're bending but not breaking, and let's hope they can continue to do that.
Absolutely, and we'll see if some of those offensive chances can turn around for the Mustangs. Coming out to play to Zach Gorin, but an unfortunate bounce off his own defender, I believe, and now Zach will scoop it up. He had a lot of power on that kick, and
thankfully it deflected rather than coming directly back at him, because I think if it had come directly back at him, it might have ended up in the net.
Here's another chance at a through ball, but Cam LaPiccolo and Pawan Tamang are there to make life difficult for Dedham as this ball goes over the netting we have behind the goal. And looks like we'll get a new ball in play.
Those Dedham runs are really putting pressure on that Norwood back line, and they're coming very close to...
Yeah, we've seen some offsides from Dedham, but at the same time, we've also seen that play work a whole bunch.
Yeah, and it's tough to count on that offsides call getting made. Especially with that many Dedham players making the run.
Well, Norwood will try to see if they can get something going to put up a crooked number here.
Yeah. Kang Win beating his first man, just not quite able to get past that second layer of...
Yeah, Dedham had 3 guys almost swarm in on Kang there, so as good a job as he did around the first one, that was going to be a challenge to get around the next few.
Yeah, right now Dedham just really seems to always have numbers around the ball when Norwood's got it. So
this one now in the middle of the field, and is that an offsides?
It was.
I believe so. Norwood keeper Zach Gorin seemed to know it, but he still aggressively came out of his net.
Well,
never assume, right?
Yeah, you don't want to play until don't want to assume there's an offsides until you actually get the whistle. Or at least see the ref's arm go up.
That's Giacomo Serratori who's back, and he plays it back to his keeper.
Unfortunate giveaway there. I'm not sure.
So you heard the Dedham sideline getting excited about that. They've been talking a lot is one thing that we've noticed from up here.
Yeah, definitely some good communication from these Dedham players, and they work well off one another, and they're signaling their runs in advance and just playing good team soccer.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And and it's showing on the scoreboard too, right? Like,
certainly has not been a quiet game from their strikers, both on the score sheet and vocally.
absolutely. Camilo Piccolo looking to stretch the field and get that ball up to Rafael da Silva, who gets a foot on it, can't quite bring it down, but stays with it.
Almost controlled, and a strong boot there from Cam.
Yep.
Now Rafael giving chase.
Harass him. Ooh, that's.
Ooh, somebody went
gonna
down.
hurt.
It's number 8 on Dedham as the ref comes on over.
Yeah.
He's holding his right foot, looks like.
Yeah, I think, Issa Gadbouni was going for the ball, missed, and unfortunately his momentum carried him through to step directly on that Dedham player's foot.
And we'll
Can't
see,
have felt good.
We'll see somebody coming in for him. Number 22 will enter, number 8 will leave, but nice to see him jogging off on his own power there.
Yep.
And it certainly will be
These
Dedham
kids are
ball.
young. They're rubbery. They bounce right back.
We've seen a couple players go down today so far, Eric, and they've bounced right back up. And nice to see the Dedham player able to get off without help.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tim Lee's got some space. See if he can find the through. There we
Ooh,
go.
good ball
So
from
we got
Tim. Here's a
Yuri,
chance.
who just can't quite get there.
And Yuri goes down. It looks like, are they going to call something against him here?
Yeah, I think they're calling him for running into the keeper.
They will. And just a strong play, just not quite enough real estate for Yuri Nevis, number 50. A good lead ball from Tim Lee there, number 1. And a good chance for Norwood here in the fourth quarter. They're still working hard.
Absolutely. Just the unfortunate, that's why, it pays as a keeper to be aggressive and come out, because if he'd hesitated, then Yuri would have beaten him to the ball and could have just chipped it up over his head. But he came out early and fast, and
we've seen that a
snuffed it
few
out.
times with Dedham's previous keeper.
Nice.
They've switched keepers, and now
well
we're seeing
done
the
there by
same
Yuri
aggressive
Nevis
play.
with some real slick dribbling to keep that possession of that ball, and unfortunately couldn't quite string it together. But I do believe that, yes, I was going to say, I do believe that young gentleman from Dedham was offsides,
They will
and the
call
ref
that.
agrees with me.
Number 20 from Dedham, and it looks like he knows it.
Or he either that or he's strongly disagreeing with the ref. I'm not sure which, but
That could be.
Camilo Piccolo is going to send this ball. Unfortunately, right out of bounds, but I think Norwood's really, down 4 goals. You're trying hard to put pressure on the other side, and that long ball is maybe not a bad idea.
Yep.
Especially since Dedham's been defending the middle of the field so well. They've just had difficulty stringing those passes together.
Perhaps Norwood can take a page out of Dedham's playbook and get one of those good through balls that we saw Tim Lee just attempt to Yuri Nevis.
Absolutely. And there's Rafael da Silva looking through. Yes. Oh, and
A nice turn by the Dedham defender there.
yes, absolutely.
That looked like number 15, who was able to turn around quickly and stay with it on defense.
Yuri Nevis again.
Almost tripped up, keeps his feet,
Yep. Issa Gadbouni working hard.
and now Issa will go down. Sitting for a little bit, and
No, so they're going to get the kick from right there. I believe it's going to be direct, so it
Looks
will
like
not
Issa-
need to be. It will not need to stay on the ground, and it will not need to be touched by a second player before it goes into the net. So, possibility to just put this ball right on net.
yeah, first of these chances I believe we've seen for Norwood today.
So
And
he's
is
gonna
that
take it?
is that Yuri Nevis who's going to take it?
It's Camilo Piccolo standing over the ball, but Yuri seems to be setting up to take the. Oh, they're treating it as a. Are they treating it as an indirect? I don't see a ref with his arm up, so I'm not sure why.
Here's the drive on goal, and the Dedham keeper swallows it up. And Dedham quickly back on offense. They transition so fast, and that's been one of their strengths.
Absolutely. And Camilo Piccolo with the ball again, looking for Issa.
Nice little touch there by Cam, getting that ball over to Issa.
Tim Lee looking for Rafael, who makes that's a little flick on.
You always know where Rafael is with those neon yellow cleats.
Yeah, they definitely help in identifying him, don't they?
He's one of those players we can pick up right away. And Tim Lee will get that ball for Norwood. As we mentioned, we'll be followed here on Norwood Community Media with the varsity soccer game, also against Dedham. There's a full Dedham weekend for Norwood athletics, field hockey, girls soccer, boys soccer, all those teams playing the Marauders.
Cross country ran against them earlier this morning.
Here's a ball that goes just wide off the foot of number 21.
Good job by Brandon Santana there, though, to hustle back. And I think the Dedham player heard Brandon coming and maybe hurried that shot and put it wide. So again, you're not giving up on the play and having an impact. So.
And we see the varsity team for Dedham starting to stroll in with 4.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Perhaps slightly less as they're keeping the time down on the field right now. Brandon Santana, who's been getting a lot of run for the Mustangs. We've seen a nice game out of him.
Absolutely. And there's a good ball by Zach to find Pawan, who just couldn't quite bring the ball down, but still. Again, you're seeing good things come from this Norwood team despite being down 4-0. And
definitely. I'd like to see the stat sheet to see how many saves Zach has today. He's been busy, but he's certainly got a lot of saves on his resume today.
Absolutely.
This one he'll give a little bit of chase for and bring it back into play.
No, the Dedham goals were largely, Zach. There was no reasonable expectation that he was going to be able to get a save on those.
Right.
Point blank or just really well struck balls. So
a lot of long through balls, and I believe it was the second goal that was just a beautiful setup by Dedham in front with a great pass.
Absolutely. No, I think perhaps the Morales Cup has actually just arrived.
I believe it's there. That's a nice-looking trophy.
It certainly is. A good step there by the Dedham defense to poke the ball forward. Nice little touch there by Issa. Raphael looking for Yuri. Just a little too much.
Good chase from number 2 from Dedham, but he won't quite get there. And that will be Pawan. Pawan, one of the juniors for Norwood, that will put this ball in play. Tim Lee, Ty Barrett, Pat Kelly, and Pawan Tamang, the juniors on the Norwood roster. So Coach Paguero hoping they can provide some good leadership throughout the season.
Yep. It's always nice to have a few older boys just with experience and whatnot to help bring along the underclassmen.
Definitely. And all really nice kids. They do well not only on the soccer field but in the classroom as well. Norwood priding themselves not only on athletics, but also academics and sportsmanship. And we saw, as we mentioned last week, Norwood winning a sportsmanship award for the MIAA, along with a bunch of other teams in the TVL.
Yep, which speaks well of the athletes.
I believe Dedham may have been on that. We saw Dover Sherburne was on that list, Dedham on that list as well, as a couple players go down. Number 20 for Dedham, and is that Micah Papadopoulos for Norwood?
It is. Wondering which way this ball is going to go from here.
Micah stretching out a little bit as the...
Dedham is moving as though this ball is going to be going Norwood's way.
And the ref will clear that up a bit.
And
that does...
No, looks like maybe it's staying Norwood's ball, so...
That does look to be Norwood's ball.
I don't imagine there's much time left in this game, but it'd be nice if Norwood could...
Here's a good boot.
One on there. Issa can get to that.
A chance.
Shielded off very nicely by the Dedham defender.
Number 22.
And his day job is the Dedham goalkeeper. So.
Moonlighting as a defensive player, it looks like.
Yeah.
Issa Gaboni looked like he wanted to use his head to control that, and then he realized, wait, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And now he'll talk things over with Tim Lee before putting it back in play, and going down to his knees to make that save is the new Dedham keeper. Well, new at this point. He's been in there since the third.
Blown back because I don't believe you're allowed to punt the ball across midfield, but I guess we're going to let that one go.
No call, and Kang Win will watch that go to the sideline. Here in the waning moments of the fourth quarter, 4-0 Dedham. And I believe that is the Morales Cup that we're seeing in front of our booth. An impressive-looking trophy that the varsity teams will compete for throughout the course of this weekend. The aggregate score between the two varsity games against Dedham the higher score will be awarded the Fernando Morales Cup.
I'm hopeful that's the Morales Cup. Otherwise, it's very strange of that man to just wander around carrying a trophy. So, and there's the end of the game.
It appears so. A 4-0 defeat for the Mustangs JV boys soccer squad as the Dedham Marauders, with some good speed and some good through balls, able to take this one in a combined shutout for the two Dedham keepers. Thoughts on what you saw today, Eric?
Yeah, I think what we saw was a really good Dedham JV team taking it to a really good Norwood JV team. Good things done on both sides. Just unfortunately for Norwood, Dedham just had a little bit better run of play, and they were able to just keep the pressure on, and eventually, Norwood broke a bit, and the ball found the back of the net. But great game. The Norwood boys certainly should hold their heads high. They battled all game long and have nothing to be ashamed of.
Not at all, as Norwood lines up and wishes a good game, or says good game towards the Dedham sidelines, and they'll walk off to the side. So Norwood will regroup. They will be right back at it tomorrow. I believe at 11 o'clock will be the game at Dedham.
I think that's right. Yep.
With the varsity game starting at 9 o'clock. So varsity up bright and early on a Sunday, and we hope you will be too to watch the game. I believe that will be broadcast through Dedham, and then NCM will be broadcasting the girls' soccer games tomorrow as they will be taking on Dedham as well. Thanks for joining us today, wherever you may be. We're bummed that you weren't able to join us because of all the rules of being able to watch us live, but we're glad that you're able to tune in on NCM and be able to catch all the action. And we hope that you'll stick around for the varsity game as the varsity boys soccer team for Norwood looks to go to 3-0-2 as their record currently sits at 2-0-2, right in the middle of the season.
Yep, very good. Well, thanks, Joe. This was great.
All right, thanks, Eric. This was a lot of fun, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, everyone.